welcome to day 16 on the Arizona Trail. Today I'm starting from mile 307, just north of the town of Superior. I'm currently on passage 18, which is called Rivas Canyon. I have a pretty hefty climb on the agenda this morning. I camped around 2,600 feet of elevation, and I will be going all the way up to nearly 5,500 feet with some up and down along the way. After that big climb at about 700 foot per mile grade, there's going to be more up and down at elevation. And so it's going to be a pretty difficult day, but we'll make the most of it and have some fun. So let's get to it. Look at the beautiful red rock in this canyon. Gorgeous. So much color.
Yesterday, you came through here last night.
Here's our water source this morning. Doesn't look too bad.
9.6.
I've made it to the end of the valley, and the only thing left is to climb over the ridge. So let the steep climb begin. So if you remember, about 10 days ago, a mice or an animal stole my sunglasses in the middle of the night. I've got some development on that story. I've been in contact with the kind folks at Ombraz, and they will be replacing my sunglasses. And so now I just have to order them, and I'll be shipping them ahead to Flagstaff. So very soon I will have some sunglasses again. Thank you, Ombraz. There's a big snake just across the trail. Thankfully, it was just a gopher snake, not a rattler. Here in the distance, we have Picket Post Mountain, which we walked past yesterday. And right here is the town of Superior, where we went to resupply yesterday. Now for another steep 2-mile climb, and we will reach the saddle where there is a spring and where we are stopping for lunch. Hell yeah!
That looks nasty.
We found the water we were hoping to grab from, but it's not looking very good. Since that water didn't look very appetizing, we've decided to carry on another 2.5 miles to Rivas Creek. We're gonna have our lunch there instead. And it should be a much better place for a break because we've now descended into a forested area. Absolutely gorgeous. There's gonna be shade, a lot more places to sit rather than at Rivas Saddle Spring. It was just rocky and fully exposed. So this is gonna be much better. And it will mean about 19 miles before lunch at around 1:30. So the rest of our day, depending on how many miles we decide to do, is gonna be pretty relaxed. And here is Rivas Creek. Much better water source. I'm gonna set up there for lunch and drink some of this Wawa. Ooh.
Oh, that looks good and clean.
Right? This is a rarity.
That's a hefty mama right there.
Pine Creek. Doesn't look great, but apparently it's flowing a little bit further up. Here's the water. It looks clear. There's definitely a lot of stuff at the bottom, so we want to be gentle. It smells pretty terrible though. Wawa. Wawa is Wawa. Oh, it smells real bad. That's like right out of the chemical plant. All right, I am all filled up on water, carrying 3 liters because I now have 5 miles to camp and then 10 miles in the morning until the next water source. So tonight is a dry camp. Just before this, came over this ridge, down into this canyon at Pine Creek. And now I'm up over this climb, heading somewhere in that direction. I've currently got my phone plugged in and charging, which brings me on a topic that I've been asked about several times in previous videos. How do I keep my phone charged? And it's pretty simple. I carry these power banks that are 20,000 milliamp hours, and I carry 2 of these. And so when I'm in town, I find a power plug. I plug these in so that they're fully charged, hopefully by the time I head out. And so while I'm on trail, all I have to do is plug into these and I can charge any of my electronics. Now, 40,000 milliamp hours is a lot more than most people carry. I've decided to carry this much because I use my phone a lot for filming and for tracking data, as well as I've got my camera, I've got wireless headphones, I've got a headlamp, and so all of these things need to be charged. And I do not want to run out of power while I am out here, because that means I would not be able to bring these videos to you. So I make sure I have tons of power, and yeah, it's that simple. Carry power banks. I'm now faced with about a mile-long steep descent and then a mile-long steep climb over the other side. We've been dreading this climb all day, knowing that it was almost at the end of our day and that we would be pretty tired and would have to be carrying 3 liters of water. And, feels good to having started to get it out of the way. But boy, am I feeling it. Ooh-wee. That's a good climb. Topped off on the ridge. Now just a little bit further to go for the day. There we go. Here's the top. Wow. There he is. Deals. Yes, sir. That's a good climb. The view indeed. This is going to be home for the night. And that is a wrap. Today, 16 on the Arizona Trail. Today we did 27.6 miles with 6,500 feet of climbing and about 4,500 feet of descent. So a very good day. We are gonna end it on this ridge here. Beautiful spot. Sunset should be beautiful as well. And yeah, that is it for today. Thank you for joining us, and I will see you on day 17.